Hi guys, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. Have you ever been upset with somebody? Has somebody ever been angry at you? Has somebody ever called you a name? Have you called somebody a name? Have you ever had a difficult time with somebody trying to control or manipulate you? Have you ever had an overwhelming urge or a sense of, oh, I just got to get away from it all. I just got to get away to where there's no people? All of these things constitute people problems. That's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes down to it. But those things all stem out of having problems in relationships, having difficulty in relationships. I'm on my own journey. I'm on my own experience with dealing with a lot of these same things. And I realized that growing up, I wasn't imparted with a lot of the tools, a lot of the things I needed in order to heal from wounds that happen from other people, in order to deal with difficult situations, in order to deal with difficult relationships. And it's just a fact of life. Every relationship, there's going to be hurt, there's going to be pain, and there's going to be conflict. But it's what we do at those times in particular that set the course for those relationships, that set the course for our life. As we go about relationships, if we're responding in negative ways to the conflict, to the difficulties that arise, then that's going to set the tone for that interaction. That relationship is going to take on the tone of multiple interactions over the course of a time frame. But if I have the right tools, if I have the right knowledge, if I have the wisdom and the understanding on how to put these things into practice, then I can change the course of that interaction. I can eventually affect that relationship and change it to something good, to something comforting. So, as I mentioned, I'm on my own journey, and I'm learning a lot of these tools myself right now. But what I want to do is I want to share with you guys what I'm learning, and also a little bit about how to put it into practice. Because I want you guys to all feel safe. I want you guys to all feel loved and feel respected and feel comfort in your relationships. I want you guys to all be overcomers, to all be able to put conflict behind you. I'm not saying it's not going to come up. I'm not saying that you're not going to have difficult things to deal with. But I'm saying that as much as I can, I want to give to you guys what I'm learning, what I'm able to use now in those difficult times to live at peace, to live fulfilled, to live connected. We as humans were created for relationships. That's why when God put Adam and Eve in the garden, they had a completely undistracted relationship with God their Father. It wasn't until Adam and Eve introduced sin into the world that people problems came into existence. And probably apart from that sin, the first main account of a people problem was when Cain killed his brother Abel. And how many of you know that when somebody's jealous and they end up killing the person they're jealous against, that's a problem. That's a pretty dramatic problem. Most of our problems are not that dramatic. Most of them aren't that gory. Most of them don't involve somebody being killed. Most of them, I speak from experience on this, most of my difficulties, most of my people problems are just normal, everyday today. Somebody is grading against me, or maybe I'm grading against somebody else. It goes both ways. Some people I found are kind of like a smooth river rock that's been warmed up gently. You rub it against your skin and it feels great, it feels comfortable. Other people are like porous, jagged, sharp, volcanic rock. Doesn't matter what you do to it, it doesn't feel good being rubbed against your skin. And I've been each of these people at different times. I have, switched back and forth. But more and more, as I'm learning these tools that I'm going to be talking about here in the future, as I'm learning these tools and putting them into practice, I'm becoming the person I want to be. I'm becoming that smooth, warm river rock that just feels good, that people appreciate, that they want to be around. But more than that, I'm becoming the person that is able to give to other people what I myself want to receive. I'm able to give to people what they need. I'm able to connect with people. I'm able to have peace in my relationships. And what I found, all of us have problems that follow us around, try to tackle us out of these meaningful, connected, fulfilling relationships. And we get wounded as a result. And these tools that I'm going to be talking about, they help us to get rid of those problems. They help us to not only heal from it, but also to prevent, to a certain degree, those problems and issues from arising again in the future. And some of the things that we'll talk about are control. Some of the other things we'll talk about are love, respect, shame, feelings of frustration, guilt, coercion, manipulation. We'll talk about boundaries. We'll talk about self-love. We'll talk about a right perspective of other people. We'll talk about a lot of different things, and like I said, my goal and my hope is that you'll be able to take these tools and these understandings and these things that we'll be talking about, put them into practice, and start becoming the person that you want to be. Start becoming the person that can live connected. Start being the person that can live peacefully. Start becoming the person that can live without frustration. There's so much that we were created for that we're just missing out on because we just don't know. I didn't know, a year ago, I didn't know a lot of what I'm going to be talking about. I lived frustrated. I lived subpar to the person I wanted to be. I lived striving from one thing to the next. Not that I was constantly switching direction, but that I was constantly trying to work on this and work on that. But I lacked the tools to change who I was, to become the person I wanted to be. So there's going to be a couple questions to follow. Take some time, think about them. I'm also going to open up a group on Zoom for whoever wants to join and share, so that we can have some group discussion and go a little bit further in depth. Once again, let's shine some light on these areas and these things that cause so much pain and discomfort, that cause so many relationships to be broken, that cause so many people to have wounds and scars. Let's start shining some light on this, and let's start living healed, and let's start living in ways that we can help others heal. Thanks for listening today. Take some time, think about what I said. If this is something you want to do, then join me back here again.